All right, much love, many blessings. Moving on to the third choice. If this is the one that resonated with your heart, you definitely selected the Smoky Quartz. So this year has brought on sensations, feeling as if there's been a lot of mix of energies, a need to transmute energies, been taking on situations have not necessarily been the clearest. It's almost as if you've had to work with the energy that's been presented to you. As it relates to love and just your sensual walk, some things may be a little unreciprocated. Eight of Cups, a bit of emotional burden and work. We've been working at this a long time. Definitely thinking on the wisdom resonating within the Capricorn Venus. Some of these relationships are old. When we deal with retrogrades, we're going to deal with exes, but when we deal with particularly like a Venus retrograde, especially one in Capricorn, these exes are just these old experiences, maybe coming from places that are very, very old, very long off-putting. You might be running into an old relationship that you had forgotten about that reminds you of a part of yourself that you're not even, that's not even a part of your trait or interest anymore. Some people may be coming back to test or just show you just how much you've changed from what you used to be. This is really important during this time because you find yourself in the present moment within relationships and work dynamics that, while different, just have a new coat of paint and are simply been shifted over to new management. It's kind of like when you have a debt and somebody else buys out the debt. It's still the same amount, but it just has a different name on it. And a lot of the karmic things going on with you are asking you to look at your relationships and the ambitions that you've been driving towards. Because the 10th house vibes is all about not just the use of the energy, but the long-term use of the energy. So these are a lot of relationships that have been coming back up that remind you a lot about who you told yourself you were, for one, and what your emotional drive say about really the deeper sensations within your body. They say about what you want from your partner, what you want mirrored within what's possible to please you. So we have the Eight of Cups here. So Spirit is definitely speaking a strong vibration on some buckets of of emotional weight that's coming back to the forefront now. And it can be a little shocking at times because sometimes the intensity is something that shows that there's a bit of suppression on either one or both parties' end. There's a bit of emotional suppression. So parties have had to settle for a lot of fantasies. And those fantasies are coping mechanisms, which is why we have the smoky quartz energy here, because there is in a sense a crutch mechanism going on, and a bit of a lack of honesty, so to speak. When peace is your priority, negativity cannot exist. So we have these messages coming up again. It's going to come up again. You heal by releasing, not by suppressing. This message is going to overlay the collective, no matter what choice is made, because with this energy in Capricorn, there's a lot of negative energy that gets pushed down and compacted. Capricorn is Saturn energy, so that's a contraction energy that takes place. It's almost natural. Jupiter's expansive, but Saturn is contracting. So when faced with something that's a little uncomfortable, it's natural to suppress it or to restrict the situation. So this awareness during this time, if you've been feeling this, as you took your divine breath, you've been feeling these tight pulls, these tight knots within your heart chakra, maybe even in the throat, dealing with these sensations of not wanting what feels uncomfortable to run amok. So we hold our breath, you hold your breath, you hold your emotional breath. There's things that you need to speak up on, but you're not saying anything because you don't want to upset the balance of the situations and the benefits that you're getting from the patriarchal dynamic that you're in. And that's gender inclusive. It doesn't really matter what side of the fence that it's on. Take responsibility for your life as a creative adventurer. So you are co-creating in this world, and this is also confirmation that you've been utilizing the tools of the things external to you, whether it's the codependency of somebody taking care of you or just relying on an authoritative system to establish your needs. And this is reflected because with all of this built up energy, you still don't have more than what you currently have. So that means that the energy is being unhealthily dumped into an external situation to satisfy the needs that you need to be satisfying for yourself, which is why peace is your priority. And we're seeing the duality here. Are we externalizing the energy, or are we keeping it within? Take responsibility for your life as a creative adventure. You co-create, so it's necessary for you to give yourself the required nutrients for your body. This is chakra medicine for you. You have to make sure that you are not malnourished. When you are malnourished, you cannot function, and within your emotional body and within your heart, you are malnourished. So you are not functioning properly. Give it to yourself first. This is confirmation to give to yourself first before you give externally, especially leading into the next year. Give to yourself first. Your heart is feeling this unreciprocated love, and there's this karmic cycle that you keep mirroring it out. And honestly, there's a bit of a Pisces association, so that means that it has a lot to do with you, and you are too emotionally in your head. You're too emotionally in your head, and you're allowing yourself to believe that the situation is concrete. You're allowing yourself to believe the situation is concrete. As you take your divine breath and you're resonating with this thread, you know that this was the choice that came to you within your heart. Ask yourself on a deeper level, when you take that moment and you take that pause and you feel the energy activate and reverberate back within your being, what is it saying to you? What direction does it want you to take your life? How can you drop off the need for unhealthy giving and self-sacrificing? How can you start to receive reciprocity in a way that is healthy for your energy field and your heart space? What goals do you want to take into 2022 for a healthy sexual and love walk? Think on these things, and I hope that they resonate within your spirit. If these things are touching your heart, definitely drop a comment. Make sure to like and subscribe. Share the love, share the wealth, and many blessings in this new year. Much love, and Ashe.